I feel like having a deeper pool is kind of overrated. It's like more you want a few heroes that you're really good with.
So Storm.
I
speak for the trees.
Okay, so Nature's Prophet, and then you pair it with the Spirit Breaker, which is one of the better counters to Prophet. So I like that. We can switch screens, by the way.
Oh yeah, because I'm back up again. I kind of forgot yeah, because it wouldn't connect me in beforehand. Whoops. Boom. There you go. Now you're free, but you're free of being the cameraman.
Being the cameraman's just, I don't know how Webboss and Scriff do it. I remember watching them at the majors. They're insane. They like sync up. They're like, okay, you watch this, I'll watch this. You're like, just alert me to this. I was like, what the?
I felt really sorry for Scriff and Webboss during the during TI though. Like they were in one of the most poorly lit areas. They couldn't hear the commentators at all. So there was no way that they, when we wanted to give, we couldn't give cues to them at all. Like, it was like, well, let's talk about bottom lane. They would actually just look at a completely different area. So we kind of actually had to go more from their perspective as opposed to what is the norm, which is they actually follow the commentator's train of thought or try and predict what the commentators will say.
I mean, they've gotten pretty good at it, though. I think Webboss told me they figured out a solution. I can't remember what it was. Maybe he said there was delay, though.
What do you mean? Solution to what?
Like that problem that they couldn't hear us.
Oh.
10 seconds
Did
remaining.
I never heard it from Scriff.
Maybe I just imagined this.
Yeah. I just remember Scriff saying during the grand finals, it's like, I can't hear anything. And then there's like Valve employees giving tours to people to check out the production area. So they come over and then they like disrupt them as well, so they break their focus all the time. There's people walking in and out of the area all the time. Yeah, but those guys, like, no one observes like them. Like, I trust Scriff and Webboss to observe all the time.
Yeah. They're champs.
Yeah. That they are, man. That they are.
CDEC, what a surprise. They take the gyrocopter. And the Undying. Even more 5-man potential for them this time around. What's up? Why the
Just thinking in my brain, it's like, okay, so Alliance get Prophet as well as Spirit Breaker. Do they go back into this whole, like, we make sure we win the fights and we push really hard kind of thing, but then you need to have like a pusher on loader and not just a hard farmer? Or do you just put it down to like, well, Bulldog can just start the split push anyway, it's going to be fine. We don't want to take team fights against the Gyro and the Undying. Hence the
10 seconds remaining.
It was a very, thought out him.
Ooh, a Batrider for CDEC this time around. It's a really good hero against the Nature's Prophet. Great initiation. Wonder who's going to play, though. I'd imagine XZ. Most people don't play mid. I feel like that's an Alliance whammy.
Just a very S4 kind of thing. But if they run the Batrider now on the off lane, I suppose it's a lot more difficult for Nature's Prophet to gank the Batrider. Sprout obviously not controlling him when he's got Firefly. But at the same time, like, Batrider can get charged down by the Spirit Breaker. So there's no, like, you can't instantly hide when you're him.
10 seconds remaining.
Should Alliance be looking at a support that can zone out the Batrider? That's one thing.
You don't really need a specific support. I feel like a lot of heroes can just do that by themselves.
Yeah.
Like, the Batrider doesn't trade well because his attack damage values are so low. I guess the one thing you kind of have to worry about is in case you get hit with like 10 sticky napalm stacks, then you just go down, but it's pretty rare that happens.
Mm-hmm. I'm interested to see if RK gets the earlier point up in Mana Leak up against the Batrider. Batrider not a great mana pool to start with anyway, but if you start trying to run away from a Keeper of the Light, well, Batrider just stays where he is. You may have no other choice but to run when a Spirit Breaker is charging at you. Well, Shadow Shaman now coming up for CDEC. Their team fight's looking really good, especially their initial damage.
Yeah, they've got good control factor. The Shackles do so much more damage now, and probably most importantly, they've got a kill combination in the lane with the Gyro plus Shadow Shaman. They do have a gap closer too with the Batrider to kind of counter out what the Keeper of the Light can do.
5 seconds remaining.
Like I feel that hero isn't nearly as good. Or Keeper of the Light isn't nearly as good when there's just tons of heroes that close the distance on you and just blow you up.
Naga Siren.
Why is that bad, dude?
It's TI3. It's just TA3 of those 3 heroes
10
right there.
seconds remaining.
The Naga Siren is just like it's a great hero. I'm not
remaining.
like, don't get me wrong. Like, it's a great hero against CDEC, but it's the no fun hero. CDEC initiated, Naga Siren stops, and CDEC instantly then have to back out.
Alliances
Or
turn to
like they lose their tombstone, and then Alliance just hit them with everything they've got. Which actually isn't that much when you think about it. Like, you hit it with the Illuminate, the Wrath of Nature, with the Riptide initial hit, that's not too bad, but they still need like
10
S4's
seconds
factor in
remaining.
this.
I guess. I don't know. Alliance,
seconds
whenever their
remaining.
backs are against the wall, Toby, this is their hero. Like, this is the Lotus special. It's like, I'm going to play the
Reserve
hardest
time.
possible carry that I can. I'm going to get a Radiance. I'm going to just farm out everything.
Turn to pick.
But I don't know. It's not even Gary. I guess it is kind of, because they have a Spear Breaker. I was like, that's an EGM hero too.
Yeah.
But
You,
they
you think it's going to be a core?
they
You have
had
to push S4 onto the Nature's Prophet then. But yeah, that's not going to happen. Yeah, that's definitely a core Naga. So who's the best hero for S4? You're up against an unknown
10
hero. You got to find
seconds
out in the
remaining.
moment. Like, you banned the DK, they banned the Razor. The Quab's
5
already
seconds
out. The
remaining.
Invoker's already out. Templar Assassin's still in the pool, but
Reserve time.
maybe not so terrific up against the CDEC lineup. T actually doesn't look that bad up against Alliance's lineup.
it looks okay, but
It's not the best,
I
but
don't-
what else is there?
I don't know. There's two options. It's either A, you try to drag it out late game, which I don't think you can afford to do if you're CDC, or B, you just pick somebody that can control and you go. Like, you just try to fight as much as you possibly can. They don't have a mech carrier, so some mech mids might be pretty effective, or something that can just straight up push with the team. Control factor's a big deal here too.
Can Alliance get greedy in this game? Like, could they run something like an Alchemist in the mid? Obviously, it depends on who he's up against, but is CDEC able, like, really able to force the issue before the Alchemist will be able to defend?
I don't think so. I don't like it.
Not a fan?
I think you're with the when you already have the Naga.
Alright, that jungle's going to get really crowded.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we all... Yeah, no. Like, if it was like a support Naga, then you could play it like Kuro did during TI, where he's like stacking 4 camps all at the same time. Which would be a brilliant situation for you, but... Yeah.
10 seconds
CDEC still have to make a
remaining.
decision, so we need to see their mid solo.
Templar assassin.
And they are actually going to go for the TA.
Alliances turn to pick.
Even up against this Alliance lineup. So what have you got from Alliance that's able to counter a TA that's still in the pool?
For the mid lane,
Yeah, do you
Uh,
turn to the Viper or something along those lines? It's...
Viper would be okay-ish. I think S4 would prefer some more control. If it wasn't for like the TA mid, I would have said
10
Puck, but
seconds
it's kind of hard to
remaining.
play Puck into that.
Could you get away with the Magnus?
5
But then
Uh,
again,
seconds
he's not really
remaining.
going to
I
be
don't think
buffing
he's
up
as
anyone.
yeah. I don't think he's as necessary. Maybe he'd be okay. Okay, Brew, that's your control hero. Okay, so they do take a control hero, but it's going to be the Brewmaster who has steadily seen some buffs over and over again.
They actually like, Drunken Hates got buffed up even more. I think with the Arcane Rune, you can actually keep a hero permanently Drunken Hazed when you have that Arcane Rune on you. That was something Cap said during our patch notes talk. Which would make it difficult for TA. And TA can get ganked from so many different locations. A Spirit Breaker charge in and a Prophet in, like, where's your escape mechanism if you're Shiki? Like, you rely on your supports, but Shadow Shaman and Undying, are they the ones to save your life?
Alright, here we go. Alliance versus CDEC, game number 3.
Prepare for battle.
Quarterfinals of WCA. Alliance took game number 1 in pretty turnaround fashion, but game number 2 was almost all CDEC from the get-go after that first engagement. But this time around, fairly different lineup for Alliance. CDEC kind of throwing the same thing, giving Shiki more of a less control heroes and more just something that can also scale. Looks like they just really like running this dual core.
I'm still a fan of Alliance's lineup when I look at it. Like, just everything they've got, like the ability to actually stop the biggest control factors of CDEC. Like, you throw down the cooldown, you can potentially just reposition. The Tombstone's going to get like destroyed pretty quickly. You don't have great ways of getting rid of the Mass Serpent wards early on. But even the Batrider, when he jumps in, like if that Naga Siren's able to get the song off before the drag back can happen, then I think got things to play with. Okay, the rune contest. CDEC could potentially go for both right now, but S4 harassing down, and okay, Garda as well as XE are going to get split here, and the bounty rune goes to S4 as well as Shiki. Everything's normal. What do we got for sentry wards? So we got the one over, like, RK bought obviously the full set, but he used a sentry ward to block the camp on the top and leave the observer ward in the lane. So it's Loda who plays the off laner, and RK will come and join him, and that's the reason why they've given him more vision up there.
EGM's going to be the hero too that rotates around and kind of looks for stuff, and I think this is okay-ish because you have a hero like Brew that can rotate in and help out quite a bit. Like if you had a different type of mid hero, I feel like, okay, that can't really work, but with the Brew, I sort of feel like around the time it hits the third rune cycle, you can just come in and destroy. You're trying to give Bulldog the best possible lanes that he can too.
That's pretty good for him. It's the one way to get around sticky napalm is by having your treants do most of your harassment work. This really like brings back some memories for me too, having something like a Keeper of the Light as well as a Naga Siren on this offlane. The mass spam once Shaka arrives, because right now he went for Illuminate at the first level for the Keeper of the Light. But when Shaka is up, the harassment at CDEC is going to be real. I want to watch like this little tree area here. It's normally where RK will sit and just spam out the nukes behind the tower, not hitting the creep wave. EGM's doing his first movement in. He's running in on the Templar Assassin who does come forward, and S4 still hasn't leveled up anything just yet, so he's waiting. Now he goes for the Drunken Brawler. You actually get a bash out from EGM, and Shiki's going to lose all his refraction charges, but not enough man to actually go for the clap. So not enough damage and control on the TA. But EGM still, it's not going to stop him from keeping the pressure on.
My boy doesn't care about anything in this world except getting that charge off.
Okay, so Q knows exactly where RK is. They don't actually see him in that position. As Q cuts his way down.
He has some inkling of an idea though.
If he breaks this tree, can he actually... No, he can't slip through that.
No, I think he'd have to have one more.
Yeah. Gotta take that one out as well.
If you want to make the Harriet Tubman Train of Freedom or whatever, you gotta have at least one more. I love Lumi so much. I know some people here have had some rocky moments, but...
What? No, it's fine.
That's my guy, man.
I got no issues with Lumi.
Nice.
He's just gonna be ready to duel, that's all. Shiki, trouble. Charge comes in with the Illusion Rune. There's no way to keep Refraction up. They also dust him up with the Drunken Haze. They'll slow Shiki up.
There's like no way they can get this kill though. I feel like that dust was... Maybe, I don't want to say wasted is the word, but that's the only way that you can really put that.
Well,
They are putting a lot of pressure though on him, and giving S4 an easier lane. And as a result, he's doing quite well. Like, he's already up to 16 last hits. And
I just realized, I'm sorry guys, looked over towards the chat. We're on your perspective the entire time.
oh really? I was just looking at your perspective.
Yeah, which probably isn't a great thing. I apologize, guys. RK, well, up on top lane, you won't miss first blood. It's going to be RK. The charge is coming in from EGM, but with Aggressive already there, Loda might considering having a run. He's got the Riptide available, and that will ensure this kill over on Q. But actually holds back on it. Admiral Bulldog will now arrive, and Loda has to pop off that very fire, so he gets his life back again as Aggressive into the tree line and
What's
away.
the move?
But no, they don't see him. Now they do. Admiral Bulldog will pick up a double kill, and Garda, there's not enough damage to kill off Loda. There's another Sprout available for Bulldog. He's going to do it. There's no tangos for Garda, so he can't break free. EGM will charge his way through with the illusion. RK will arrive, and it's EGM. As you said, with that greater bash, finding the last hit. So first blood might go the way of CDEC, but the teamfight recap is obviously Alliance bias. It only sees the 3 kills going their way.
Can't believe that actually happened like that in their favor. The bash at the last second too.
They're going again on mid.
That's that Nature's
They burn through
Prophet.
refraction charges, and now he's got him back. It's yeah.
But how do you fight against that? Like, there's no way that you're gonna kill the TA.
Yeah. It doesn't help when you get hit by these Illuminates early on, but there's some aggressive will dodge it. Okay, he's a long way away from home. Is there a tree line to cut through? There isn't really, but okay, yeah, there is. There's a small path headed north, and Loda, Q was looking for him. He'll go for the shock into the shackles. Loda's got nowhere to really stop this, so Arcade will go down to the rocket barrage of aggressive. Arcade finding himself in a very, very unfortunate position. I'm surprised he didn't just, like, run down south at that point.
It's okay though. Laning phase overall has gone better than I think Alliance would have even anticipated. You're getting Bulldog online pretty early and helping him get involved into these fights, and most importantly, this aggro, dual lane, tri-lane, whatever you want to call it, has gone relatively well. Like, aggressive doesn't have an overwhelming amount of farm. I guess Loda's a little bit more behind than you'd like, but that's the only thing.
But S4 still sitting in a good position for his Blink Dagger. You could also say the same thing about CDEC. If they're going to charge up on top lane, the other thought was the Blink Dagger over on the Batrider. Because you're getting a lot of farm over on this Batrider, and he's just about to crack level 6 and holding onto a haste rune. So you can be very, very careful, Bulldog, on that bottom lane. And let's see, he's just going to go for it. XZ. He's got the haste rune, he's got the lasso. The Bulldog's well behind his tier 1 tower, and XZ's not going to take the risk. Instead, they just TP middle lane. With the clamp coming out, Bulldog's already there. They primal split onto Shiki. So this is the way that S4 ensures the kill on the TA. The one charges, the ball charges, he dodges with the melt, but the rock is coming in. And that's going to lock down Shiki. They charge forward. The flame break will arrive from XZ. They have another Earthstone if they want to, but S4, he actually, I don't know if that was a missed micro, but he turned himself around with his primary hero. But yeah, XZ, he's got lasso. With 2 sticky napalm charges over on S4, Q will arrive as well. They've got a Hex, so EGM can be taken out of this. And S4, the shackles are there, but now in comes Admiral Bulldog. With that Wrath of Nature, he does a lot of damage, especially when S4 can find himself a crit like that. And they actually lose the TA and the Batrider, the first use of the lasso. Not coming up the way CDEC would have liked.
I mean, XZ had to know that Brewmaster had like 15 wand charges. By the time that he was going to turn around on that, he's a hard kill anyways. He's got 4 armor, he's got a lot of HP, he's got the Drunken Brawler as well. Like, that was not an easy kill, especially once they correctly assess. Like, EGM's like, okay, I'm going to not help S4 at first. The best thing that I can do in this position is to actually kill the Tombstone, and then I'll do everything else. That was the correct play by them there, and look what it leads to is they get further map control and they get 2 cores down. This could be huge though.
Yeah, just ramp around the back. There's that small little path through the tree line. Admiral Bulldog, they set off with a Hex. They don't have the mana to follow up the shackles. So Admiral Bulldog will survive, and XZ, Brewmaster will TP himself in with the double damage rune. It's going to wear out before he can reach any of the heroes.
That should have been a kill. Okay, I think if you just use the shackles there, but he just kind of mistimed that, or miscalculated, I should say. Is it closer assumption of what just happened?
I don't know, would he be really concerned about as well, because Bulldog didn't have an escape mechanism.
Yeah.
So starting with the Hex, like, if you had someone like a Storm Spirit, maybe.
That was 3 heroes there too.
Yep.
Like, that should have been a kill for them. That could have been a way back into the game. It's a lot of damage, or economic damage.
Here we go for the shackles. Q's got nothing more to give. S4, however, no split available, and he will go down here. Even with the Wrath of Nature, he gets the clap off, so there's a little bit of extra damage from that. But that's all. So the Brewmaster will end up dying. CDEC, they commit 4 heroes for that kill. Aggressive's the only man not there, farming up on top lane.
But that's okay. You need to just slow down the Brewmaster if at all possible.
Yep.
He's getting his Blink Dagger a little bit quicker than you'd like. Around the 10... That was like a 10-13 minute Blink Dagger at that rate. But a little bit troubling right now is that they're having a hard time securing Lotus farm at top. I guess he hasn't died yet, so that's kind of okay. Like, they've, for the most part, left him alone on the side of CDC because he is given an unfavorable matchup.
He is able to get that level 6 now, so CDEC, like, whenever Lotus carrying a TP and's got Song of the Siren up, actually, does he go in? Like, you should go into Song of the Siren, right? Like, there's no reason to get, like, Ensnare over it or something.
There's some players that if you're just going to play incredibly defensively, I've seen, like, 3-0-3, but that's a little bit greedy.
He's holding the point. so he's not using it just yet. S4's rotating around. He's got himself that arcane rune. So ready to initiate in. He can just clamp, split. They start the charge, and Bulldog TP's in behind the tower, so aggressive. He's really got nowhere to hide. And well, there's your primal split going to go to work. Aggressive will die up in the tree line. And well, they cancel the support TPs, which are on the way. But this will allow Alliance to take out that tier 1 tower on the top lane.
That did feel like an overcommit though. They were outside of the range of cooldown. If somebody was TPing, I can understand the split because then you can continue the chase, but
well, the TP was starting. Like they canceled the TP on the way.
I still feel like it was like you were going to get the kill. Maybe they were just afraid of the lasso going first, but it doesn't matter. They should be able to pick up Ake here.
Yeah, he's got no way out. So S4's going to be very happy if he can farm up this. Okay, yeah, they're trying to force Garter away, so S4 gets the 175 for taking out the tombstone.
That's a fair amount.
It is. And Arcade did his job. While the push was happening on top, he wants to make sure this TA just can't take that mid tower. What do we go for Bulldog? So he's actually going to go for a drums build. Like, Bulldog has been... Okay, well, maybe we should look back towards S4.
Oh.
Tries to run away. The Drunken Haze won't save him, however.
He also had Drunken Brawler up. Like, he has 2 levels of that, and he had hazed him. I think that's a little unlucky. I guess it's only a 15% dodge chance, but the first level of Drunken Brawler is 45%?
Yep.
Yeah, I think he was a little unlucky there, because he had 5 hits hit him in a row. It's very rare that'll happen.
RNG against Alliance now. Okay, yeah, but Admiral Bulldog, he's not going for the mech build.
It's okay.
Which makes me, like... Is that because, like, Alliance is just not going for the push kind of style? Like, they're more just, let's team fight? Or let's pick off?
I mean, Bulldog with the mech? Is that something he did recently?
It's something he did on day 1.
Okay.
He went for the straight mech on the Nature's Prophet.
Probably a different type of lineup, though. Like,
Yeah.
they have a Naga in this one.
Yeah, they had more of a push lineup in that one.
He's experimenting a lot then. Before it was almost always just like the Shadow Blade. Orchid. And now he's going for like phase drums. This is vastly different from what he normally does.
EGM's charging over, but those Observer Wards, I'll say those, just the one, really sees deep into the Radiant jungle. Or at least deep enough that he can give warning to the bottom lane.
Loda's now going to be in this bottom lane, just farming away. He's pretty chill now. Like, everything is kind of evened out for him.
Does he have enough space that he could just go into the Radiance?
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, I think so. You could go for the arcane boots first, but if he was going to do that, he would have bought them a while ago.
S4's hoping for a kill up on top. He can actually go by his blink deck. Aggressive doesn't see him. S4's got that small little slither where he's able to buy the blink dagger. The charge is coming in, and well, at this point it's just Bulldog who was walking towards it, realized he wouldn't get there in time, so he TP's up instead. Aggressive lets the cooldown go, but the control factors are more than enough from Alliance to get that kill on Aggressive, especially now that EGM has arrived. And it will be Bulldog defying the kill over on Aggressive.
How often is it that you see Aggressive getting gone on? It's usually him that's leading the charge, and even if he dies in those engagements, he's the one setting the tone, but in this one, it just feels like they're forcing him to play back constantly. The rest of his team is actually doing pretty well, but just not the position that you want to put your gyrocopter in. This is one of the few games where I feel like they're not protecting him and he's not really rotating over. Possibly just because he feels like he's more behind than he'd like to be, but we saw in that first game, he was willing to rotate at level 6 with almost no items.
Yep. So what's changed in this game? Is it just CDEC looking for a 4 protect 1 strat? Or a 4 distract for 1 strat?
Yeah, I guess he probably just wants to scale a little bit better than he did in the other game, so that he's not forced all in. But this time, I think he's going to say, okay, I've been picked off a few too many times. I'm not very tanky with only 900 HP. They've got a lot of global presence on the side of Alliance, and a ton of ways to gap close that he can't really prevent, like a Blink Dagger on Brewmaster, the Nature's Prophet TP, the charge. So it's better for him to just participate in the fights with his team. I actually thought he would have gone in a little bit earlier with his team, but probably just wanted to get the Yasha quite desperately.
CDEC is taking so long to take that tower out. Like, that was a good minute and a half that they were there, and Admiral Bulldog just kept farming up the top lane. Like, yeah, Wrath of Nature caused some problems, but then Loda goes to bottom lane. He's up to 2k gold now on this Naga Siren. Wonder if EGM will actually get a good position here on XC. Like, he's already starting the charge, and Bulldog, he's got TP available, and yeah, they're TPing forward. Aggressive, however, is already there. They do not want to complete that. The charge just got the vision in time on Aggressive for EGM to pull out.
Not really sure what the game plan now is Loda just continues to farm. He has a bottle. Does have the Cooling Blade too. Obviously, you're going to go for the jungle here. The pace of the game is kind of slowing down ever since that mid tower was taken. I do think it is on CDEC though to get aggressive.
Well, CDEC getting aggressive on. God, it's going to go down. I don't know, that wasn't even English. I don't know what I was trying to go for a play of words with the gyrocopter and ended up just failing absolutely horribly.
They should be able to grab this tower, at the very least get it denied.
Oh,
S4 is going to get clipped by that. This should mean the death of him. Nobody's near him at all.
They got enough control. He almost died just from the cooldown. He was losing his Brewlings too fast. EGM starting the charge down, but realizes that's not going to complete. In fact, Shiki's going to follow with the Blink Dagger. And EGM, yeah, dead to Shiki. Instantly, Bulldog starts a split push, however, so it'll end up being a lot of damage on a tier 2 tower on the top lane, or fortification at least.
Almost has the eggs completed too.
They're going to lose their bottom tower, however. Those mass open wards are up.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
That bottom tower is quite low from CDEC as well. I noticed that the last 3 times I saw the opportunity for them to go for the deny, they don't, even when it's at like 50 HP. I'm not quite sure. That's not a tactical thing. I think it's just they don't really think about it. Maybe they're just not used to losing their own towers. Bulldog going for the drum straight into the Aghanims. Lots of stats on him. Quite tanky.
Yeah.
Batrider does have his Blink Dagger available. They don't have Mass Serpent wards though for 70 seconds. But even so, going for the Roshan here with the TA should... it's still taking a little bit of time because he decided to go for the Blink Dagger first. Now the question is whether or not Alliance can suss this out.
Well, the only observer what they've got down is the one from Arcade. And it sees Garda now walking down towards it, so maybe they understand that what's going on, but they're too late to do anything about it. Like, S4 is the neighborhood, but he just blinked himself defensively down to the bottom lane. So Roshan belongs to CDEC.
It's a fairly important pickup, especially featuring a team that has a Naga Siren. Like, if you're CDC, you want to continue to push the tempo forward, and a large part of that is having a hero, like a core hero that can dive or get over aggressive. That's what Shiki can do now. He's playing this TA pretty well. He's 3-1-0. Using the courier right now. What is he going for? He's just gonna pick up his Wraith Band. Probably still go for a Deso.
They come on top. RK's bringing in S4 right now. At least that's the recall, I'm assuming. Yep, it's going to be S4. He'll arrive. The cooldown will come out from Aggressive, but EGM's almost doing this solo. Loda will arrive, and, well, Song of the Siren is still available, so if they want to disengage, they can do it, but instead they commit with that Brewmaster split, controlling up the Shadow Shaman. The Mass Serpent wards will never hit the ground. Shiki will, however, but that Refraction charge currently protecting him. 2 more defensive, now they're all gone. And Alliance, they just roll in. They burn through the Aegis of the Immortal. XZ's looking for an opening. Blink Dagger's off cooldown. He can go for the lasso if he wants to, but Loda, the Song of the Siren to begin. He's just a couple of illusions down, so he can actually rip-tide up Garda if he comes in close, but they decide just to TP back out again. They got what they wanted. They got the Jar and the Shaman.
XZ had the fire, or he had the Flaming Lasso up, and Garda had the Tombstone. There's no way that you want to fight into that. Don't be greedy. Like, Alliance have the better late game. They've got the Naga Siren who's going Radiance. Bulldog, yeah, you know, he's playing the Bulldog hero.
Yeah.
What else is there to say about it? Like, he's got an Aghanim Scepter completed. This is where things get really rough for CDEC. Is it almost kind of feels like their timing window is slowly starting to slip away, as Loda has enough for the Relic now.
So we can start this Radiance, and we can start the Rat. You said it was Alliance's comfort zone. And they're now 20 minutes into the game. The Radiance looks like it's on a decent timing for them. They just profit with an Aghanim Scepter, means like these treants be summoned all across the map, keeping the push going. Is CDC on the clock? Do they have to complete this game now?
I don't think they have to complete it right now. I think what ends up happening in games where you're playing against Radiance carriers, think about it. Like, everybody makes this mistake, even in pub games, is you almost feel like you're on a clock and you're just like, we have to go right now. Like, if we don't, then he's just going to get too much farm and we're going to get behind and we're never going to be able to end the game. But it's about precision. Like, you get a few good opportunities and you have to make those count.
I suppose if you want an opportunity creator, like, it was Batrider. It always was Batrider in the past. You'd wonder, like, does this guy fall off? But then he gets one blink lasso, you get a pick off, and so much space gets created in the late game. And
Lasso's up.
Group up. Lasso's up, and so was the smoke. They group up with 4. There's no Radiant Observer ward that scattered this.
You also made me say lasso. Lasso.
Well, isn't both correct?
I'm getting worse at speaking American because of you, Toby.
What? Because I'm making you speak English or Australian English? Oh, hello, EGM. He just broke the smoke. He charged himself up and put himself on the cliffside.
This is fine.
The Wrath of Mage is going to fly through, so a little bit of chip damage back, but yeah.
That's I don't want to say useless to my boy, but it doesn't matter if he lives or dies there. Like, it's just... It's all about creating space and time.
Considering, like, you lose a Spirit Breaker for a big smoke up move from CDEC.
Yeah, that was meant to catch somebody much more important.
Yeah. And they would have. They would have caught Admiral Bulldog. He was down here just farming up the camps. I like how Bulldog has just, like, destroyed the tree line across this area.
Just wants to make sure.
Is that a walkable? That's a walkable area, right, on the map?
Yeah.
So easy to move between ancients as well as the normal camp.
He's got so many creeps now in the middle lane too. They're in a fairly set position. Alliance. It doesn't look like CDEC are overly frustrated yet, and they haven't made any terrible overextensions or overplays, but
Q's out a long way. The courier's traveling out to win the ward, so they might just flag the fact that Q is up here. S4, does he get... He doesn't see him. He's pinging. He's pinging now. The exact spot, though. And yeah, they're going to find Q in the tree line. He can start with the Hex, but RK starting up with the Illumina as well. Just keep him in there, and RK's going to get a free kill here.
Sniped.
It works for him. EGM is chasing that XZ as well with the charge. He's got another strike of Val, but they lost vision for a little bit. And now they got it back after Admiral Bulldog TP'd in, and S4 was very quick to the fight as well.
Continuing space for the Naga Siren, as she hasn't had to do anything in these fights. This is the most casual game in the world for her. She's like, okay, my team is managing to hold the fight every single time, even without me. Occasionally, I can come in with my illusions if I want, but if they're winning 4v5, you might as well just continue to let them. And now this is going to be the tier 1 mid tower taken out. Maybe the tier 2 as well, but Alliance again, no reason to push your luck. You've got the lineup for this game already.
If there's one thing we've learned about Alliance, they've learned to play very, very safe. That's what they did during their playoff match during the majors too. It's like, okay, well, we know what we've got. It's like, lose no more. I still can't believe that Naga Siren didn't get pressured more. Because normally, like, when you're looking at a Radiance timing and a Naga Siren, you're like, okay, well, now she's going to get pressured. They move in aggressively, put down Observe Walls to watch her farm. But she picked up the Relic and then had a good 1 to 2 minutes free time inside of her own jungle. There was no movement from CDEC to stop that. They smoke moved, but they moved through the northern side. Like, was that actually the play? Instead of trying to control up loader? Like, you know the raid's going to come, but at least maybe you can delay it.
I guess, but I don't know. I feel like you give up too much. Alliance did a really good job, of getting into the face of CDEC. Like, every single time they went into the excursion at top and they killed aggressive, they did that, what, 2 or 3 times? That kind of sets the tone already. It's just a little bit too hard. You stretch yourself a little bit too thin.
S4 is waiting for something here. The TA traps aren't giving enough vision, so S4 is not visible. They're actually started killing one there. They got 2 wow, okay. The overlap of sentry wards on the ramp area.
There's a mech completed on the Undying now.
CDC's team fight's actually looking really quite good.
Yeah.
Like, you got a BKB now done over on the Templar.
They've got everything. You gotta go after this 100%. Smoke up, do whatever it takes. All the items have flown in. This is the timing right now.
Are you still able to do it though? Because you've only got.
You got to.
I suppose you got the 2 BKBs on your team, so it's on the 2 cores. They can keep doing
this. This is the best. This is the best it's gonna get for CDC. Like, you've got 2 BKBs completed. You've got the mech up on the Undying. There's no other item that you're waiting for. Like, you've got everything that you need to get into a fight. If you can't win a fight at that point, I feel like this game is just going to get near impossible. Like, the Naga's got boosted travels now. She's starting to pick up some amount of farm. You have to start doing something on the map.
But Alliance, they're not going to allow them to do it. Like, or if they are going to do something, it's going to be from, like, Alliance split pushing and then you catch them out. You only get 1 or 2 heroes. At all other times, they're going to be back out. Because what can really stop Brewmaster from getting his split off? It's either Lasso or it's the Shaman going in for his shackles. Like, that's all. Well, I just don't, maybe I'm being a little bit negative about it, because I don't see CDEC's control. Like, I can see the burst damage and their ability to fight under Song of the Siren, but beyond that, it's going to be a difficult path.
Alright, so CDEC farming out their own jungle, getting pushed back by the illusions. Don't really want to fight into
They're
those.
charging. Bulldog's jumping forward. S4 is going to slow down Garda. He's got no way to cut through. Okay, blow out the ulti and throw down the tombstone. That's one way to go through it. But S4 going to be glimmered up. Actually, doesn't mean Shadow Amuleted up. But they take out the tombstone without having to use Song of the Siren. And CDEC, they're just on the retreat.
They've got a reset right now. Without the tombstone up, I doubt they want to look for the fight. Bulldog almost has the Octarine core as well. That ultimate, it's going to get frustrating to deal with, to say the least. And now everybody here from CDEC, Bulldog might just decide to go for the split push on the other side of the map, although he's got to wait at least a little bit.
CDEC are coming. Smoked up, but EGM's already left. There's no one left inside the dire jungle. Meanwhile, the bottom lane continues to push out. If it's not a Naga illusion, it's a freshly summoned Treant off the back of the Aghanim Scepter.
Is this their last smoke too, before the Roshan?
Better work, Batrider. Oh, you got EGM again. So another smoke maneuver from CDEC, and you find the Spirit Breaker. He's got 9-1 charges, so a potential to do nothing. So to 1 didn't charge out. Was where my mind was moving.
That was optimistic.
It was optimistic. The CDEC now, like, okay, so you kill off the Spirit Breaker. You're getting split push in the bottom lane, and RK keeps throwing out these Illuminates. You lose your creep wave, so you have to commit mass Serpent Wards. So how do you, as a team, when you get a kill, keep your momentum up when this kind of stuff keeps happening to you?
Radiant structures are fortified.
I'm not sure. Especially with what's going on at bottom. Just split, split, split.
I just feel like CDEC are always going to be denied. Like, how are you meant to fight? Like, I know what they want to do, it's just Alliance aren't allowing them to do it.
No, doing it is an entirely different matter. The next Roshan's going to be pretty big for them, though. This is probably going to be the biggest signal for them to go. They have the Deso up on the TA. Their team fight is okay, but they're rightfully afraid of the sleep.
Could CDEC actually win out in a trade? Like, if they just like, okay, we get Aegis the Immortal, you've got Roshan, so it's in the bag on that front. Could they just go down middle lane and...
No.
Like, can you get the map into a position where you could do that?
Not even close. The Keeper of the Light will just blast you away.
We're having a real hard time finding a path for CDEC. Like, a real hard time. They are still going to get the Roshan. Garda's already committed the Tombstone with that Treant moving over. It's going to reveal the fact that Roshan is dying.
I thought they'd be more afraid of the sleep from Naga.
Well, they're not. Naga Siren's not even there. In fact, she's up on top lane. They're charging over towards Q, so Alliance aren't even looking to compete up against them. Q loses half of his life to the Radiance, and now for the Nether Strike. EGM, he's going to get hexed up, but you've got the Illumina beat coming from RK.
It's one or the other, man.
Wow, it's just, the burn is real. And they take the top tower, Alliance, so you get a kill on a Shaman. Is that actually the Ags now? Yes, the Ag's done because of that kill for RK. This is another one of these rare games where a Keeper of the Light's playing when there's no Night Stalker against them. We even had a game earlier during the tournament where you had a Night Stalker and a Coddle on the same team.
Yeah, we casted that.
Yeah, we did.
I think this is slowly starting to approach the territory where Alliance don't even care about the Aegis whatsoever. They're just like, okay, you're never going to be able to push anyways. If you do, it's going to be all in. We can hold forever. We've got Naga, Keeper of the Light, Nature's Prophet. Brewmaster for our control factor in case you decide to try to go high ground. They have to look for a pickoff.
They really do. At least they got the king of that. They got the Bat Rider. But everywhere he goes, like, these treants are everywhere. It's like an infestation on the dire side of the map. Garda's not going to punch these guys out. Bulldog is just going to micro them out and scout where the movements are. Sees now that XC's on the bottom lane. But he's not finding any real heroes. He's only finding illusions or treants. And then RK's still sitting up here on top lane. Crazy thing is too, like...
And you can get away with this because you can just keep recalling people in.
Yep.
Dire's top tower is under
Like, Bulldog
attack.
didn't even need to TP at that point. He could have just got recalled and saved his TP.
I might as well. 15-second cooldown now. Well, whatever.
Octarine's a real thing.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
But for CDC, like, they push out the bottom lane, but they're being pressured so heavily on top that by the time they've pushed out the bottom lane, like in 18 seconds time, Wrath of Nature triggers again.
Yeah.
This bottom lane disappears, the middle lane disappears, treants will normally take the place of the killed units, and the push becomes even more real.
You know what's pretty neat about the Nature's Prophet Octarine build? Because of the sprout lasts 6 seconds, and because it lowers it to 6-second cooldown, against heroes like the Gyrocopter, you can destroy him. He's not going to have a Quelling Blade or a Force Staff on his own. So when you get into like a one-on-one situation, you can just keep isolating him out.
It's true, it's a permanent trap.
Yep.
I like Prophet even more. Loader. That TA trap dropping down, but he just grabbed the Arcane Rune and runs away. Ends up triggering it. And sending his illusions back out again. Batrider might have the flying vision, but Q. Well, the charge is starting up from EGM. They still don't have the Brewmaster with them, but they could start the recall if they want to.
I think they will. It's permanently there if they need it. But EGM's just going to TP back to base, and they're wasting more and more time. The Aegis, I think they've got like 2-3 minutes left on it, and they haven't been able to make any moves as all the lanes are being split in. S4 goes to push bottom lane. And here comes the assault.
Is this the best chance CDEC's had? At the top lane's already pushing, and in fact, they just Prophet.
Is it even a chance?
He's already coming. Like, I don't know. Like, Arcade Blinding Lights, they can't even attack the tower directly. So they mass Serpent Ward it. The Illuminal connect on aggressive, but the damage they're doing to the tier 2 tower, the pressure's too high on the tier 3, and Alliance can still fight this. The Brewmaster's coming in from the side angle. Down that new staircase, the mid tower does still get destroyed by the Shadow Shaman walls, but S4 blinks up, gets the clap, actually controls both Q and aggressive with it, and then instantly at the split aggressive, BKB TP's out. This is how much they don't think they can do, but EGM, he gets the stun. They end up sending the Shaman up and towards the air with the Storm Brewing, so aggressive will die in the mid lane. Q will end up following him as another charge up, but it's Bulldog who becomes unstoppable. You've lost 2 heroes, your top tower's down to half-life. And Alliance, this is like, it's torture against CDEC. And now you got a refresher orb, Prophet? Half the life of Shaman's removed by 1 Wrath of Nature. What happens now?
Yeah, he wasn't able to survive anyways most of the time. Like, all Loda's doing is, I'm going to send an illusion on you. This will be the worst thing that you face in your entire lifespan.
He moves forward.
Poor Q.
And Shiki's going to jump. S4 quickly into the BKB. The Lasso is going to be used by XC. But RK, he's still waiting behind him. They can't directly attack. And EGM, he's about to charge into Garda. Loader, he's got Song of the Siren back off cooldown again. And S4, not really in the position where he wants to find Shiki. He's going to find the kill. Loader didn't commit the Song of the Siren, but Shiki's out of mana, and EGM finishes his charge forward, pushing Garda away. He wants to Soul Rip that Templar Assassin back up again, able to do so as Admiral Bulldog triggers the refresher ulti as we get to go Carlet right now.
I imagine things are happening.
Piece it together, man. You're playing by frame rate.
Let's figure... Oh, wow. The Aegis just runs out. That's like the unluckiest thing I've ever seen.
Templar Assassin. The dream is not alive for CDEC. Like, aggressive comes out for the call down, but EGM's ready to go again. He's got Nether Strike in charge. Yeah, they don't have the Brewmaster, but the bottom lane, the tier 3 tower is being attacked. Like, I think that was the Treants and the Wrath of Nature, because she triggered a double Wrath of Nature. There's no creep wave that survives through that.
Many misfortunes so far for CDEC is at the last second. Aggressive, no Aegis on him. I'm pretty certain I selected it before the fight, just to like triple check if he had it, and he did. And then it expired. Oh man. This has just got to be the most frustrating game you've ever played if you're CDEC. they're just constantly throwing stuff at you, like Manta illusions with Radiance. Like, Bulldog has 20
They're jumping in
treants
again.
everywhere on the map.
There's the split. They're going to mech up.
Dire's top tower
The
is
stun will
under
keep
attack.
aggressive out of this fight, but what it's going to do is ensure they can take out this melee Rax. The Brewlings, there's no way aggressive can even fight. He's up in the air for the maximum amount of time. Q is losing his life to illusions. He doesn't want to hex the illusions, but he's at the point where he kind of has to, and another send up on the gyrocopter.
Dire's top barracks
Like by the
under attack.
okay, aggressive was up in the air the entire time when that melee Rex was taken down. At least EGM dies, the Templar Assassin jump in, but the Song of the Siren TP out does its work. Prophet instantly forced in the bottom lane, and XZ's looking to try and punish it. Blink 4-star forward,
Oh, they
and
finally
there's
got
your
him.
Scepter. They finally tracked down the Prophet, but do they have enough? Like Bulldog's now just going to Wrath of Nature again and TP out. Flame breaks off cooldown so he can go again. Yeah, they've got it. Q got a little lucky there.
They've got to be rejoicing right now. Like they,
But Ding Dong the Prophet is
yeah,
dead.
it's like they must hate him right now.
They're gonna hate the world. Like, Q can't do anything as this Shaman. The Battle Rider can't even jump out. Every time he thinks he can, he's getting hit by the Radiance and then the follow-up Wrath of Nature attack. He just can't move.
I mean, I'm sure this is the most frustrating Shadow Shaman game. You can't even really cast abilities because Loda's constantly, he's like, oh, there's Q? I'll send an illusion on him. And he's like, Bulldog, Nature's Prophet, or Nature's Wrath right now. And he's like, okay. Almost instantly kills him every single time. He's got 4 armor to go along with that. So he gets Riptided as well. There's a full heart, not even an Octarine core on Loda.
Your illusions are stronger than ever, and looks like we'll have a quick pause here as the mouse fell off the table. There's CDEC. What a horrible position. You always try and be hopeful in every single broadcast, but right now it just looks like a slow, painful torture.
That's the worst kind of loss to suffer. It's like the slow, agonizing one. It's just like, I've been in this kind of position where you know you're going to lose. And you know you're just like in a position where it's just like, okay, we're actually not getting too much accomplished. Is it? They do have the XP lead though, just because
but that's because the mass treants have
yeah,
extended
exactly. Plus the fact that Naga naturally doesn't get too many levels, just because she's oftentimes farming with her illusions.
But
So
with this
XP is
lineup
a
of
little bit-
Alliance, though, you don't really care, do you? Because it's all about like
No, it's just about the
all about
farm.
the racks and the push.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Alliance and CDEC. Yeah, looks like may have reached the grand finals of TI5. But Alliance, they can push into the semi-finals. But they still need to finish the job. Like, we saw CDEC with a very commanding win during game number 1.
That game did not feature Nature's Prophet and
did
Naga
not.
Siren though, who are both filthy rich.
This is me clutching a straw splits. Like, there's no other way.
And CDEC could still conceivably do it. Or feasibly do it. Like, they get, like, one really good initiation off. Maybe a few misplays from Alliance where they misuse the sleep.
But it kind of relies on Alliance making a mistake.
Nobody's perfect.
And even if they do get a pick off, like, it's still back to that same scenario. Like, you think about the 2 times that EGM died. And you basically said, even though, like, he is your boy, like, nothing of value was really lost. Because Alliance got so much back on the other sides of the map, and the smoke committal from CDEC always came up short. It wasn't a core. It wasn't the ability to stop the momentum that is the Prophet and the Naga Siren push.
It's not like they didn't try. Like, the 2 times they just happened to run into a Spear Breaker of all heroes. Like, they would have loved to have killed the Nature's Prophet and the
Dire's
split push right
bottom
there and
tower
continue
is
to
under
go.
attack.
Really big pickup, though, for CDC as the Templar Assassin finishes her
S4.
SPV.
He starts instantly into the split. They just want the kill. Shiki will jump himself forward. The Monkey King Bar. He's got a little bit of extra damage, but the Storm Bruling will send him up into the air. XC, he gets the lasso.
This might be the fight
dragging
for them.
EGM back. And the Illuminate, however, it flies in. The Song of the Siren can't protect in time. 50 seconds without EGM. They put down defensive Serpent Wards, but remember, Alliance, what do you really lose here?
Dire's bottom
Like a
tower
little bit
is
of
under
time
attack.
while Song's on cooldown? They need something more, and they're going to find it. It's Arcade, and Arcade with Gem. Blinding. Wait, no. That missile. Yes, he does die. And the Gem is lost.
Really good engagement by them. That was the proper fight, is that Shiki just actually 3-shots all of S4's broodling, or his broodlings, and S4 starts to realize, like, oh crap, I have to actually just send him up in the air. And at the same time, EGM's charging in, he just gets brought back by the Batrider. And even though those heroes aren't exactly crucial, you want to keep them alive. Dota is, at the end of the day, a numbers game.
The numbers going to go the way of CDEC when they can have both an Aegis as well as a Cheese. Give them something more to fight with during the next engagement. But it's not going to go to aggressive. Aggressive actually went very defensive. I'm surprised you do something like this when you're... I guess suppose maybe the pickoff is more of a problem for you, but he went for a Lincoln Sphere build on this Gyrocopter.
It's good against, I guess, if you're getting netted so that he doesn't just keep getting spun up in the air. That was probably really frustrating the last time he tried to defend that top area. It's like, oh, I'm going to come in, spin. 3 seconds later, spin.
I was actually wondering what, oh, hello, goodbye. What was on that courier? There's actually the smoke on the courier inside the Roche pit. Killed off by Prophet's Treants. Alright. I was wondering what Bulldog would build into, because he's still got the drums on him, and he actually bought a Blink Dagger at this point. With 5,400 gold, like obviously more than that at the time with 7k, he still bought a Blink Dagger over everything else.
You need something to continue on with the split push. I think there's a gem on the Batrider too. There's also one on the Undying. I don't think it's worth it for him to go for like a Shadow Blade, but you need some sort of mobility item.
That's why I was wondering if you just go for more tankability.
Oh my god, Loda's just sending in illusions mid.
The Treants did it before. They almost killed off that tower.
Alright, bottom. They've already taken the tower at bottom. They're slowly sieging. All it takes is one bad fight for CDEC and the game is over. Maybe if they just leave the base and then Prophet TP's back or something like that. There's a lot of different ways for them to lose this game right now.
Well, we know Alliance is the king of that. They did it up against MVP. Getting those BTs up and running. Wait, hello. XD has an Invis rune. He needs help. Like, he's so far away from help, it's not funny. And now, Blink Lasso, and they've actually got the hero BTs up. So level 2 BTs, Shiki will arrive, but S4 is already here in the fight, and they wanted to go for something. They had to go for something, but they'll probably lose their Batrider, the defensive Yule Scepter, and then the Blink away to safety. But the Prophet's already TPing for this, or is he? They recall up, and yeah, there it is. They burn the Aegis, the Immortal on the Batrider. And XD's gonna drop here. No way to survive.
Again. That's a gem now too.
They get it back.
Everybody's quite strong, and the Treants just continue their assault in. They're going for the main towers now. It doesn't even matter. They're just doing like 10 damage at a time, but
he could send it down to the mid-tier 3 tower and take it out.
It's the slow knife.
No, hang on. Here we go. Here we go.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Got it.
Alright, so the illusion split up. They're going for the racks at bottom at the same time. Loda could just go for the sleep, keep them in mid, then go for the bottom racks if you really wanted.
Tell me this Brewmaster. Okay, so the Brewmaster now has an AC. Prophet still. Okay, Scythe of Vice is now an Admiral Bulldog, so the Blink Dagger combines this beautifully. There's a Blink Strain to Hex. That BKB of aggressive, he may not even get an ability off. I don't know if Bulldog really wants to put himself that far on the front lines, however, but like both Shiki as well as aggressive have to be careful about the Prophet now. So they're going to trigger the Lincolns. There's no follow-up. The bottom racks is just dead.
Alright. They just like, okay, we gotta defend mid. Alright, there's bottom racks gone. Defend bottom, we lose our mid tower.
It's the never-ending split push. There's no way to stop it. Now the illusions come in, like the range ranks in the mid will now die. Yeah. Nothing can kill the Naga illusions. Aggressive, just he already committed his flank, and now XE, he finally finds something. It's S4, but the Song of the Siren's out next. He stuns himself because he was mana leaked. The rocket will connect on S4, but it's a guaranteed primal split. He'll come out of it. Aggressive will go into the BKB with a flank cannon. They burn through 2 of the Brewlings very quickly as EGM is a distraction charge right through the middle of CDEC. Loda is still there and aggressive. He's isolated. He's being mana leaked as well. He has to stand his ground. S4's going to come back to his normal self in just a moment. throwing out the last stun that he's got. The ensnare is there, but his bottom lane, where Admiral Brawldog, he's just used... Okay, now here comes the secondary ulti, killing off Shiki, and this really is the game. CDEC, they've lost basically everything. They're buying back, but they'll call the GG. Alliance will advance themselves through into the semi-finals of WCA, eliminating the TI5 finalists, CDEC.
Alliance is winning. You saw how he set that up?
I saw.
Yeah. Alliance won. I mean, this was a pretty impressive best of 3 too. There wasn't any period where you saw any quit in them or anything like that. Even when the laning phase parts went rough, they were able to hang on and manage, and a fairly impressive win over a top tier team.
I'm interested to see how they go in the next round. While we don't have this updated just yet. Okay, I actually don't have it